All right, I hope everybody's in a good zone today. We're gonna start really easy, just kind of leaning forward. Let's just notice any tension in your lower back. Let's take a deep breath and just kind of let that go. Wiggling your knees back and forth to just help facilitate that. And then let's crawl it down into a plank. And we're gonna push back into a downward dog, and I just want you to hang out there. Okay, thinking about equal weight placement in all of your fingers. So just don't put too much pressure on your wrists. Use all your fingers, push back a tiny little bit more. See if you can get that upper back activated. And then once you feel like you've got the hang of that, you're gonna come into your plank, feel that core activate, find that micro bend in the elbows, and then that's our move. We're gonna push back and forth a few times there. So just going into that, coming back into your plank, okay? So let's just really be conscious of that micro bend every time we come back to the plank. And feel free to linger in your downward dog as long as you need to if you're feeling like you need that stretch. We're gonna do this a couple times in our class, so you're not missing anything. On your next breath, pop down to your knees. We're going to go into a cat-cow, okay? So looking up towards the ceiling, and then chin down to your chest and just stretch it out. And then coming up and looking up. Focusing on that upper back and kind of flossing out your spine. So think about just using all those angles of your spine that you don't get a chance to bend in an everyday movement. And focusing on your breathing, breathing in as your back arches up, breathing out as you look up towards the ceiling. All right, after your next breath, we're going to extend one leg. I want you to focus on keeping your hips neutral, okay? So don't let this hip going up towards the ceiling. Flex your toe towards the floor, and then when you feel like you've got your stability, extend your opposite arm. Holding that, pull your belly button into the center a little tiny bit more, and then we're going in. So keep your body super still as you're moving your arm and leg, trying to get that elbow and knee together, extending that leg out on the other side. Keeping that control in the center, okay? There is a reason it's called the core, and it's for that stability, okay? So keep this stability, try not to wobble around. Okay, after your next breath, we're going to do the same thing. Okay, so let's start extending that other leg. Line those hips up, make sure it's not winging up towards the ceiling. Turn your toe towards the floor. Once that feels stable for you, extend your arm, find that belly button, pull it into the spine, and then extend out and back in, okay? Finding that core. Imagine there's a coffee cup on your back and you're trying to keep as much stillness in your body as possible as you are extending, okay? Just breathing, finding that center. After your next rep, we're going to pop back into our downward dog. We're going into our second set, okay? We're not doing everything the same, but we're coming back to that one, okay? So place your hands shoulder width apart, find that equal placement. We're going into downward dog. We're coming back to a plank. Option for push-up this time, okay? So coming back into a plank. If you need to drop to your knees, push up, back up, and then repeat, okay? So if you're happy just doing the downward dog, back into the plank, do not let me pressure you into the push-up. But if you're feeling like you want to jazz it up a little bit, you're welcome. Okay, keeping that control. Let's go for 20 more seconds here. So just going back and forth, breathing, and last 10, and 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Perfect. Okay, so we have two options here. Okay, so I told you to bring soup cans, dumbbells, a chair. So if your soup cans are going to be too light to do this exercise, you're going to use the chair. Okay, so everybody that's got dumbbells, we're up in this position. We are focusing on the micro bend in the elbow that's on the floor, and we're going into triceps. Everybody, if your soup cans are too light, you don't have dumbbells, we're going into dips, okay? So here we go. We've got 30 seconds on each side. Timer just started, okay? So remember what I was telling you about keeping your hips nice and neutral? Let's try to hold that thought as we're doing this exercise. It's really easy to just kind of flail around in space, but try to keep that control with your core. Check in with that back toe. Is it pointed towards the ground? Keeping those shoulders back. Ask yourself if you have a micro bend in your arm that's supporting you. And 3, 2, 1, other side. Okay, those of you doing your dips, just hang tight. Reset everything, go through your checklist, make sure you've got everything all lined up. Don't forget to breathe. Keeping that control. And we've got our last 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Perfect. Okay. Don't hate me, we're coming back to the downward dog. Okay, we're doing one more set. So real focus on upper back triceps through this stuff. So find your downward dog again, find your plank, option to push up, and then repeat, okay? Last set. And feel free, as I said, you don't have to do this fast. If the downward dog is feeling amazing, linger in that if that's what you need today. If the push-ups are feeling amazing, do a couple of them down at the bottom, okay? There's no rules right here at this point. There will be rules later. Okay, so stay with me. We've got our last 20 seconds. Just get into your body, warm up those arms, and we've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, relax. Perfect, okay. And then we're going directly into our second set of triceps here, okay? So same as what we just did. So set it up. If you want to choose the other leg to go up first and switch up the sides you start with, that's up to you. And just make sure you've got all those ducks lined up. And here we go. Okay, back to the dips if you don't have heavy enough weights, okay? So just do your best there. Breathing. Pulling that belly button into the center. Just taking really deep breaths. Finding that control and making sure you're getting that arm all the way out to straight. Try not to use too much momentum. We've got 3, 2, 1, and then let's switch over to the other side. Okay, keeping that control. All the way out. Just breathing. Check in with your elbow that's supporting you. Make sure you've got a little micro bend. And hang in there. We've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Perfect. Okay. So the shoulders should be pretty warmed up. At your leisure, roll up to standing. Okay. So you can choose if you want to do this body weight or if you want to add very light weights or soup cans. So shoulder circles. We're starting here, okay? So we're going 5 shoulder circles one direction, 5 shoulder circles the other direction, okay? Keep alternating back and forth. So just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and I've got my timer on. Here we go. So it's just going to be a quick 30 seconds. Every 5 reps, switch which direction you're going. Doesn't matter how many you end up doing, okay? Watch for tension going into your neck and shoulders. Let's just keep those shoulders down and back. And we've got our last 10 seconds here. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, keep your weights. Watch that there's softness in your knees. If you have a BOSU and you'd like to stand on it, you can use that. We're going front raise, lateral raise. Okay, so if you have a BOSU and you want to add more core, stand on it while you've got the shoulders, okay? So front raise, lateral raise. Little soup cans, little dumbbells. Here we go. 30 seconds. Breathing. And keeping that control. We've got our last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Perfect. Okay, so you might want to trade up to heavier weights. You might want to keep your soup cans. The arms are going to be like this. We're going for 5 pulses straight up, 5 pulses out like this, okay? 5 pulses straight up, 5 pulses out like this, okay? If you find your weights are super light for this and you'd like to take it to a different challenge, you're going to go into plank step-ups, okay? So it's just up to you what you have available. If the soup cans are too light, that's your choice, okay? So here we go. Timer has already started. 5 up, 5 out, okay? Get it into those biceps and upper back, okay? If you're on your BOSU, stay stabilized, keep the relaxed feeling in your knees. Okay, we've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Perfect. Okay, we've got one more with these little weights. Okay, so if you're on your BOSU, come down to the floor. It's gonna be better. Bend your knees a little bit more. 1 front raise, 1 out to the side. Okay, so 1 up, 1 lateral. Okay, but notice how far down I am. Okay, so find that spot. Here we go, 30 seconds. Use that upper back. Okay, so really try to get into the idea that you're using your shoulders, but you're also using all these back muscles to roll your shoulders back and keep the control. Okay, hopefully everything is tying together here. And we've got our last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Perfect. Okay, coming back to your upper plank. Hanging out here, opposite knee to elbow. Okay, so getting into those abs. If you have a BOSU and you want to use it, toes are going to pop on top of here. Same format, okay? So here we go. Let's roll. Okay, they're off. So again, check in with those, the bend in the elbows. Careful there. Little tiny micro bend. So just a little bit of softness. Really challenge yourself to get that knee all the way across the body. Breathing, shoulders back. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and breathing. Okay. Popping into a side plank. Bottom knee is down. We've got 1 little dumbbell and we're coming up. Okay, so lifting that dumbbell as we lift the hip and just enjoy. Okay, we're going for 30 seconds. Let's do it. Timer just started. Okay, so try your best to just bring an awareness to where your hips are. Try not to let that top hip rotate forward or backward. You want it pretty much directly over that bottom hip if you can. It's funny how the body will find these little ways to cheat. So just find that spot. Keeping that control. And 5, 4, 3, 2, relax. Okay, perfect. Before we do the other side, I want you to rest directly on the floor. Okay, so let your head fall into your hand. Bring this bottom leg forward a bit. And we're lifting this top leg. Focus is on those obliques, okay? So I'm poking on my top hip, right above my hip here, and I'm feeling tightness in my core. Pull that belly button into your spine, find that spot for you. Okay, keep lifting up, finding those abs. And then if you're happy here, stay here. Otherwise, arm goes down and we're coming right up. So I'm pushing into my elbow, and I'm finding those obliques as I lift my torso to meet my knee. So just coming up, okay? And we've got 20 seconds. Pull those abs in. Hang tight. Last 10. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and chill. Perfect, okay. Coming on to the other side. Okay, so first one, find that side plank, use that dumbbell. Let's get those going. Okay, so ready, and here we go. Okay, lift that hip. Again, check in with those hips. Try to keep everything all lined up. Perfect. Dropping the hip down to the floor every single rep. Finding that reactivation as you come up. If you don't actually go to the floor, you're gonna miss a spot here. Okay, so it's just find those core muscles. You got 3, 2, 1. Okay, remember, come down, hang out, bottom leg comes in front of it. Find those abs and lift that leg, okay? So just using that core and just hang out. Perfect. So really focusing on your abs. I know you're gonna feel a little bit in the glute too. So hang in there. We've got 10 more seconds, and then as I said, you're more than welcome to stay there. Otherwise, starting right now, you're coming up into these guys, okay? So lift up, find those obliques, okay? Torso is meeting that. So I know it's hard to tell, but I'm pushing up into my elbow. This one's a little bit awkward, so just push up. Sometimes it doesn't translate well on the screen there. So keep it going. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Perfect. Okay, coming all the way up here. Okay, so we have options. You have a band. If you have it, you can use it. So set it up on something that's not going to fly away. If you have dumbbells, you're going to use those. So it's going to go elbows in, elbows out, okay? Elbows in, elbows out. If it's too hard to do the elbows out with the weight you have at home, just keep the elbows in. Okay, same with the band. Elbows in, elbows out. Okay, those of you guys down on the floor, we're doing pull downs, and then we're gonna do double raises. Okay, W raises. Okay, so I'll tell you when to switch. Okay, here we go. So we're going for a minute. You know the rules. When I say a minute, I just mean do as many reps as possible, but don't sacrifice form to finish the entire interval, okay? So if you're fading and it's only halfway, I want you to take a longer break and just rejoin us on the next exercise. Okay, keep that control. Anybody following along body weight? You guys are down on the floor and we are now just lifting the torso, squeezing that back. The arms are staying neutral, okay? So just like this, okay, lifting that torso. Toes stay on the floor. 20 more seconds, everybody. Stay with me, find that back. Pull those arms in. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, perfect. Bicep curls. For anybody that has a band or dumbbells, we are doing bicep curls, just standing, softness in the knees. Anybody that is joining body weight, you're down in a plank, you're alternating your shoulder taps. Okay, so be very cautious to have that bend in the elbow. That is where you're gonna get your bicep. Okay, so here we go. 30 seconds, keep the shoulders back if you're doing the bicep curls, all the way up, all the way down. Check in with your knees. Make sure that they're a little bit relaxed. This is where you're gonna get more abs. Okay, if you lock your knees out, you miss that. Okay, keep it going. We've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, breathing. All right, that was a really long circuit. We're going back to the top. Okay, so plan is 5 circles. 5 circles the other way. Okay, follow me along. If you'd like to be on your Bosu for this one, you know the rules, you can do that. And rock. Okay, so be careful. Everything's gonna be a little bit more tired this time. Okay, so just follow along. And we've got 30 seconds, just alternating those arms. 5 circles one way, 5 circles the other way. Taking a couple deep breaths. And 3, 2, 1. Okay, coming into those bicep pulses. You have the option of staying with 5, Or you could go all the way to 10. So straight up, same thing, 5 to 10. Okay, getting those arms. So little tiny pulses up, find that spot. You do not want to be very heavy with these weights, okay? And then remember, you're more than welcome to do plank step-ups, okay? Timer has already started. Find those front of the arm muscles, upper back. Front of the arm muscles, upper back. Okay, keep going. Okay, we've got our last 15 seconds. And then we're going into the front raise, lateral raise. So we're staying with these little weights. And 3, 2, 1. Okay, so it was 1 raise forward, 1 T raise. You're more than welcome to do 2 at a time. So 1, 2, 1, 2, okay? If you want to make it 1 notch harder, okay? There we go. 30 seconds. Just be careful if you're choosing to do the 2, that it's not going into your neck, okay? Sometimes you do need that recovery. Okay, holding that thought. We've got 15 seconds. Stay with me. Okay, last 5, 4, 3, 2, and we're breathing. Okay, great. So coming down, remember, option to have your toes on the Bosu or the floor. We're going into our opposite knee to elbow, okay? So getting into those obliques, keeping the bum down so you're getting those lower abs, okay? So if your hips start to go up towards the ceiling, you're losing your lower abs, okay? So be conscious of that. Perfect. It's those little tiny adjustments with core exercises that make all the difference. So just be careful. We've got our last 10 seconds here. And last 3, 2, and relax. Perfect. Okay, so coming back to your side plank, last one. If you were happy having your bottom knee down with your fly raise, that's great. Keep it there. If you want to take it up 1 notch, feet stacked, as long as you make sure you can maintain everything in alignment, come up to this one, okay? So here we go. Find your spot, and they're rolling. Perfect. It's 30 seconds. Timer is on. And just please make sure you actually do come right back to the floor, because that's the main point of this whole exercise, is lifting that hip up. So you have to pull everything into the center, okay? So it's not really about having your feet stacked. So if you need to have your one knee down, go back to there. Okay, keep that control. And 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we're doing the other side right away this time. So get set up in that side plank on the other side. Again, remember, one knee down, feet stacked, coming up, okay? So finish this other side right away. Okay. And don't worry about how many reps you do, just worry about the form, okay? Finding that control, dropping down. We've got 15 seconds. Yeah. Keep that going. And last 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Okay, so coming on to your back here. Option to roll up, okay? You can have your feet on a Bosu here. If you feel like you have it, if you want to use it, it does make it 1 stop harder, okay? Option number 2 is to come in to alternating knee drives as we do this, okay? So those are our 2. Go nuts. I'm gonna give you guys a whole minute here. So you'll notice you might feel pretty strong right off the get-go. It'll fade a little bit as everything gets tired, but try to go through as much of this minute as we can, okay? Take it as your own little personal challenge here. Okay, keep it going. And just regroup every time you hit the floor. We're halfway here. Perfect. And last 20 seconds. And last 15. We're going to be going into that back exercise next. So if you're staying with us, body weight, just stay on the floor. Everybody else up to standing in 3, 2, 1. Okay, perfect. So your band should be set up, or you have your dumbbells. We're going back into our rows. So we've got elbows out, or elbows in, elbows out, okay? Remembering what I said, if whatever resistance you're using feels too heavy, stay with just the elbows in, okay? And then remembering you guys are down on the floor, and we've got the pull downs, toes staying on the floor, and W raises, okay? So 1 minute interval, timer just started. Okay, and just if you're using your dumbbells, really check in that you're horizontal to the floor. If you're too upright, you're gonna miss a spot. So just challenge yourself to bend your knees and get down lower. Perfect. Sometimes it's hard to tell. Try not to look up also. Just keep your gaze down at the floor. Otherwise, your neck kicks in. All right, we're halfway. So those of you guys on the floor, just move into these guys, lifting those elbows, toes stay on the floor. And we're going into our last 15 seconds. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and we're breathing. Perfect. Okay. All right. So we have a few options here for the next circuit. Okay. So if you have a band and you want to use it, one leg is going to be in front. The band will be on the outside of your arms, and we're pulling down. So notice the angle of my body. I'm pulling those chest flies down to the floor. If you have dumbbells, you're down here. Your legs are going to be in tabletop, and we're chest flying from here, okay? If you don't have any of that stuff, hand towel, hopefully you have a place to slide. On your knees, slide it out, bring it back to the center. Slide it out, bring it back to the center. If you do not have a place to slide, default to push-ups. All right, we've got all the options, set it up, find your spot, and here we go. Okay. So I am going to give you guys a minute here, but please monitor things as we go along, okay? So just keep that control. Yeah, and if you're doing the band, just make sure you're really leaning into the front leg, okay? You've got that support, don't go too far back. Okay. Just keeping it all lined up. We've got our second half coming here, so if you need to switch that towel over to the other side, now's your chance. All right, coming into our last 20 seconds. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. I'm going to demo this next exercise on the BOSU, mostly just because I want to show off. No, I'm just joking. But if you guys want to do this on the floor and you don't have a BOSU, this is the exact posture, and we're just crunching up, okay? If you have a BOSU and you want to try this, go for it, okay? So you really have to pull in those abs, okay? So legs in tabletop, crunching up with the upper abs, and on your mark, get set, here we go. Okay. So just be careful with your neck, and if you are choosing to use a BOSU and you have it, you just keep those legs static and you're crunching up, okay? There's a sweet spot there. I know it's hard to find, but your lower back has to be on it, okay? Keeping that control. And we've got our last 15 seconds. Little tiny pulses here. You guys are doing great. and 3, 2, 1. Okay, if you are on the bow suit and you want to stay there, same position, and we are going into bicycles, okay? Everybody following along on the floor, this is what's up. Okay, so getting that twist, and you can totally do it on the bow suit if you want an added challenge, and you have one. Okay, keep it going, timer just started, and we're off. Okay. Holding those core muscles in. Okay, we've got our last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Perfect. Okay. Take a deep breath, give your core a break. We're coming back up to the top. We're doing the chest flies again. So the only thing I'm going to change here is you're going to set it up exactly the same wherever you were with your band, but on our last 15 seconds, I'm going to invite you to do a really fast set of chest presses, okay? So chest flies for 45 seconds, quick set of chest presses, okay? And then go from there. Ready, and we're off. Yeah. Okay, go for it. And bingo. Finding that control. If you guys are using the towel, just relax and go into the other side also. You won't be doing the fast presses with us. Okay, keeping that all the way. And hang in there. We're on our second side, so switch it over. Perfect. And we're heading into our last 15 seconds. If you are happy with where you are at with your flies, don't let me pressure you, but here we go. Fast chest presses, pushing down towards the floor or pushing up towards the ceiling if you've got those dumbbells. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Perfect. Okay. Now that the arms are a little bit more fatigued, I want to invite you guys to do another set of bicep curls. So take your band off the railing. Use your dumbbells if you want, coming in to those bicep curls, okay? So option here, I know you bodyweight people need an exercise, but just hang tight. So if you want to do heavy biceps for the first 30 seconds, and then have your lighter dumbbells and do one more set of the pulses for your last 15, really quick transition there. I'm gonna leave that up to you, okay? You won't wanna use heavy, but it's up to you if you wanna grab those soup cans. And then those of you guys following body weight, you're going to be in these plank shoulder taps, okay? So ready, set, go, okay? So just hopefully everybody got that. It's gonna be full range bicep curls with a heavier weight or the band, hopefully. And then if you want, you can go back to one more light set just to target that middle muscle a little bit more, okay? I'll let you know when. Okay, so keep it going. Start getting ready to grab those lighter weights, and ready, set, go. If you're going into the pulses, here we go. And ready, 15, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Perfect. Okay, ditching the weights. Okay, coming back to the abs. So let's do one more set of the same ones I was just showing you. So we've got our crunches in our tabletop. Okay, so hands behind the head, really focusing on those upper abs, and then we're gonna go into those bicycles right after. Okay, so find your spot, on your mark, get set, let's do it. Here we go. Perfect. And feel free to be on that bow suit. Keeping that going, tiny little pulses. And keep it going for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, and then as quick as we can, We're into this bicycle one. Watch your lower back here and back and forth. Enjoy the ride. We've got 30 seconds. We're starting right now. Okay, find those obliques. Perfect. All right, last 15 seconds. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Perfect. Okay. All right, everybody. So plan is we are down on the floor. If you have your dumbbell, choose one that's heavy enough to do a single arm chest press. Otherwise, put 2 weights in one hand if you want a little bit more challenge. We're going into a single arm chest press, dumbbell, okay? If you do not have weights that are heavy enough, you're gonna focus on your core and we're gonna do single leg bridges here. Okay, so pulling your abs in as you're doing the legs, okay? So here we go, and 30 seconds aside here, okay? So holding that bridge. Perfect. Getting that extension up if you're choosing that single arm press. Get it all the way up to the ceiling, holding those hips up high. Perfect. And in 5 seconds, we're going to switch to the other side. So 3, 2, 1, switch it over, other side. And keeping that control, we've got our last 15 seconds. And 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Okay. So if you have a dumbbell and you want to use it, you're holding that bridge still, we're going into pullovers, okay? So the arms are straight, 1 or 2 dumbbells, one in both hands or one in each. If you want to make it one level harder, your one leg is going to go up. That one leg is going to drop as you hold that bridge and do that pullover, keeping that rib cage pulled in, okay? Just follow along with the leg if you don't have weights, okay? So just do the legs. All right, timer just started. Slow, keep that hip up nice and controlled. Really be cautious that you're not losing your rib cage, so keep your abs pulled in. Try not to arch that back. All right, keeping it going. We've got 10. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, switching over to the other side. So same exercise, other leg up. Or just stay with those arms if you're just focusing on that. We've got 20 seconds. And last 15. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Perfect. Okay. If you are somebody that notices you feel your lower back on a lot of core exercises, go grab a pillow right now. You're going to pop it under your lower back. Everybody else, don't worry about that. Okay. So just follow along, legs up, core tight, double leg drops. Okay. So find that spot. If you find it's too hard to do this with the legs straight, just bend the knees, okay? Nice and controlled. Option to have that pillow under your back. Really focusing on those lower abs, okay? So if you're not sure if you've got the lower core, I invite you to just poke on your tummy and just kind of see if you feel a difference in tone. Does it feel tight, okay? You've got 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Okay, little tiny bum lifts. So if you're loving the pillow, leave it here. Little tiny bum lifts, straight up. Find that spot. Toes flex towards you. We've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Perfect. Okay. So coming back to your single arm chest presses, just for a second here, you do have the option of adding in a single leg drop as you do this round. Okay, so if you're wanting to keep with the abs, add that leg drop in. Otherwise, you can just keep your legs in tabletop. Okay, so back is going to stay on the floor this time. Here we go. Timer just started. We're very close to being done, everybody. Stay with me. Hold that thought. Focusing on that one side. And we've got our last 10. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switching over to the other side. Perfect. Getting that control. Be careful with that lower back if you're choosing those leg drops. All right. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, this is the last exercise of the day. So you have the option of keeping the legs up in tabletop or adding in those weights and adding in that leg drop. Okay, so you're doing your lat pullover with your weights and your leg drop with the legs. Okay, or you can just focus on the leg drops. Okay, so here we go. Let's do it. And last 45 seconds of class. Please be cautious with that lower back. So if you're finding that's kicking in, just take a little bit of a longer break here. Nice and slow. Yeah, glue that lower back to the floor if you chose that leg drop. Okay, last 20 seconds. And keeping it going for 15. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Perfect. Okay. I did go a few minutes late today, so we still have 2 minutes until 1:45, but if you guys have to go, just keep that in mind. We won't go that much longer, but just move into your stretch here. We're going into Cobra. Okay, so just mimic me. I'm on my elbows, just stretching out those core muscles. If you feel like you want to come up one step higher, get the hands involved. Stretch out that lower back. And then coming into your child's pose, stretch the other way. Bringing one leg forward into your lunge position. And we're going to reach over the one side, so over the leg that you have in front. Stretching out that whole side of the body. And then coming back to the other leg in front and leaning over the other leg. Just breathing. And then coming all the way up to standing. Clasp your hands behind you, feet are hip distance apart. And just chill. Nice and slow, roll up, clasp the hands the other way, chin down to your chest. Stretch that upper back out. And then let's get a little tricep stretch here. And the other side. All right. And I'll let you carry on with your lives. Thanks for joining me. And that's a wrap.